Hello, is my voice clear?
Yeah, that's audible.
Okay, all right. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Very good evening, everyone. It was a lovely introduction. Thank you so much. And I think when we talk about empathy, it's something that people can talk about, I believe that every human being has this value. And I hope that this time it's not only my chance to speak about empathy, but I'm here to be the moderator. I'm going to moderate you because you're going to talk more about empathy. Well, first of all, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Zulfikar. You may call me Pika for short. I don't mind if you give me a pronoun, mister, but I love if you call me Pika. That's it. And we will talk about empathy. It's something that, it's one of my it's my topic in thesis. I I did a research about empathy, and I'd love to talk more about empathy in this forum. And I hope that you can also talk more about this. Okay. Hmm. Okay, this is the motion. What do you call it? Like this is a topic, right? Power of active listening, how to show empathy and understanding. You know, I have heard okay, a story line like this. People can listen, but people cannot understand. So what we're going to learn today, or what we are going to discuss today, it's about how do how to win people's heart and make friends to anyone by giving our active listening, show our empathy and understanding. Okay, let's go to the next slide. I can't wait. Okay. Okay, can I be honest? I'm really nervous about being here today. I don't know why. Well, this is the very first question to everyone in this light. Sorry, in this Zoom. Sorry, I'm just being so nervous. Guys, have you ever had a conversation with a friend or coworker, and everything you said to them seems to have gone through on one ear and out the other? Or maybe you tried to be vulnerable with your emotions to someone and you just don't feel you're properly validated or heard. So I politely ask anyone to speak about this. If you have a moment when you share a vulnerable moment to your friends, anybody want to talk, or maybe the host want to deliver thoughts? Oh yeah, Ira. All right, thank you, Ira. I've been waiting for you to raise your hand. You may speak, Ira. What
Okay,
are your
thank you
thoughts?
so much for the opportunity. Should I answer the question or right away answer the question or answer the question right now or you how?
Yeah, you may answer the question.
Oh, okay. Okay. Have you ever had a conversation with a friend or coworkers and everything you say to them seems to have intro? Okay. I think yes, I have. Like it was like I don't know, maybe like just like last week I had with one of my best friend.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I felt really relief after I was having conversation with my friends. So I felt like there's a lot of things have been stuck in my mind. And after I plot out to my friend and it just feels so relief.
Oh, okay.
Even though she's not responding everything, but she just listened to me, it feels so yeah, like so a lot for me. Like I feel really somebody just really listening to me and without, giving any response to me and it felt very good for me. So yeah, I just feel a relief after that.
Oh, thank you. I'm so happy to hear that. Do you agree that, anytime we share a problem to someone, we already have the solution. We know what we are going to do, but we just need the validation. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't. Yeah, I felt like that. I actually know what should I do, but it's just not complete if I'm not telling to people. I felt like I need to tell somebody else. So it's just not complete if I'm not telling to people. So yeah, like that. I think
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
really easily to expressing myself. So yeah, especially to like the one who really close to me.
Wow, I feel you. Thank you so much. Yeah. And you want to
You're
talk
welcome.
about this? Maybe Wahyu? So, okay, I'm going to mention your name one by one. Yeah, guys, this is not a. I'm not a preacher, so you may give your voice. Okay, this is not one-way communication. I hope that you can. Please help me, guys. Please speak. Please give
Okay,
your voice.
can I say something?
Yeah, sure. Please, not something. Many
I
things.
really like the way you say I'm not preacher. That's why you need to be afraid. If you say something, means that you make a scene. Where we can express our idea, everything based on our experience.
Yeah,
Yeah, based on our experience.
yeah.
So
We're not looking for a
everything
right or wrong.
we discuss based on our experience, right?
Yeah, yeah. People,
Have you
people
ever
do not
heard?
express. Oh, Ekalita, you may
Uh,
do. Okay, thank you
Of
so
course,
much.
I think everybody
mm,
have in that situation, yeah.
Mhm.
mhm,
But
mhm.
yeah, I try to be positive, but if my emotional is influenced, yeah, I try to control myself at that's all.
I see. I see. Have you ever felt that you are being, when you talk to someone, you reach out to someone, you have a problem, but you just feel like, oh, I don't feel fulfilled after telling he or she.
Yeah, of course, because I'm raising two children also, so I get to use of that situation, and I think when me dealing with my parent, mostly my mother, yeah, I sometimes doing that things to her. Also, it because sometimes we have not same not have same perception or consideration, yeah. And the way out is I try to be positive, and then if it influence my emotional, because sometimes um we sometimes when we think about the consequences we we get worried, right? But
Mhm.
and then we try to be positive, and then yeah, I like I said, I try to control my emotion and trust the party that not validate me, that's all.
Wow, great. So you're a mother of two.
Yeah,
Amazing,
yeah, I'm a
amazing.
mother of two. Of course, I get to use about the situation mostly when they are children, and they
Mm-hmm.
thought they are more know better from me, right? And then I
Mm-hmm.
have to be patient. At that moment, yeah, I sometimes my worry is didn't prove that's the process, yeah. And sometimes
Mm-hmm.
when my word is didn't prove, I have to respect my children, right? And then
Yes.
I have to understand them more, that's all, yeah.
I believe it's not easy to be you are right now, because I
Yeah,
believe
of
that you've
course.
been through many things.
Yeah,
So
yeah, it's not
what what
easy, right?
what is the lesson that you want to share? Because it's not easy in controlling emotion. Is there any specific experience that
Yeah,
you want to talk here so we can learn the future mother, future husband like me, future wife? So,
I think become adult is not mean that we have to be always put ourselves in the top list. That's
mm,
the meaning of adult, yeah.
mhm,
The more you mature, the more you give trust to your surrounding. It's not easy, I know that, uh, but like I said, we are also learning that not every our consideration is right. And when it is right, there will be some supported from the condition, like this, like when my son think, oh, this is right, this is not right, this is they can accept it, this is not, there will be some process, and then I can understand, I can understand them more, mostly their decision and their action for themselves. That's what I'm learning. So it's not about me, but it's now about them. Everything that have been connected or related, uh, we will have more patience, yeah, something like that. It's because you are mature, yeah, you, but I know it's not easy. I know about this very much, but yeah, I think my mother also have through the process, but at one point when we have to make the decision that forcing everybody, that maybe will be uh, our boundaries, yeah, something like that.
Okay, I love the idea of, the maturity. And I think I'm gonna be I think, okay, I have a question, another question. Do you what do you usually do with yourself until you're feeling okay, I'm not enough with myself, I really need to reach out someone and share this. Is there any specific moment or condition that you really want to reach out someone telling your problem, Miss Ekalita?
I think I'm more to about connecting to my inside. Yeah, it's not.
Mm-hmm.
I try not to connect it to with the others, not like that. Because if I connect it to others, I will be more frustrated, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah, it's like you having a one remote television, right? And then
Yeah.
you want to watch the same movie, the different movie.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are grab the remote, you will be quarrel or something frustrated is a cure. And
Mm-hmm.
the solution is give the remote to them and just go away. That's all. Yeah. And
Oh,
you
I
get
see.
will use it. Yeah, you will get used it, because sometimes you will realize, oh, is it not something that you have to giving attention too much, yeah, something like that.
Oh, thank you, Miss Ekalita. I learned a lot from you. How I wish that I can be as mature as you are. Okay, is there anyone who wants to talk? I saw Miss Wahyu. Oh no. Is there anyone? Hilman J. Hilman, would you like to share something? Fahri.
Can I try?
Yeah, sure, sure.
All right. Okay. Have you
Mr.
ever heard a conversation with a friend or coworker and empathy citizen seems to have passed through one ear out the other? What I have seen in my society when I talk something with close to our scope means that I I currently look forward to discussing about education. Means that we study not because we just study what we can obey what our mothers, our parents rule. I want to study, just go to study, but we don't know beyond the meaning of study. Means that when we are responsible of doing everything to be our how to say our happiness or our everything, that afterward we can discuss it
Mhm.
by way of talking about it. It's quite tricky, what I call it, the way how we not the way how we expect, the way how we define about education and what the society defines about the meaning of education, it's vice versa. For example, I try to bring the name of learning is it's fun. So studying is
Mhm.
fun. Why do we not? Why we don't continue to higher level in order to compete in intermediate or advanced level, whether in developed city or developing city? It means that everyone has the chance to learn wherever you are, whether you are
Mhm.
coming from the poor family, intermediate family,
Agree.
moreover, you are coming from the higher family or privileged family, of course, because they have started in the middle of the journey, but
Yeah.
we are supporting each other in a lower level. We can do it. What if for instance, what if we don't have any money to compete or to contribute, or whatever the name is, but we still have the chance, means that we can use, or we can freeze our brain in order to
Mhm.
get better for higher education. It's only the option, I call it. Stupidity is not permanent. We can switch, or we can pivot stupidity to be clever when we have a stronger reason what our purpose is. If the first one is we have an intention and purpose, the way how we can achieve our long-term purpose. If we only come with, it's okay, the point I just study and finish the senior high school, it's time for me. I can work and I can get the money. What if the
Mhm.
beyond the money? Why we can study while earning money? Why we don't do that? Because uh, sooner or later, the world is changing faster. And moreover, maybe in this case, it seems like I call it privilege. We can talk about what's going around in the world, what's the trending topic, what is the viral in Jakarta, talking about polluted air and so forth. In people of country, they try to explore or develop about AI and so forth. But in my society, they do not care. They do not care about the world is changing faster. To
Mhm.
work or to learn virtually, how we can
Agree.
mitigate the downstream and upstream. The gap is quite far.
Yeah.
That's why what I'm telling here, I try to discuss with my friend. Sometimes I don't have any power. I try to discuss in a small scale. Try to motivate them to be one of booster for the small society. I guess that's it what I can share. Thank you.
Oh, very good sharing. Thank you so much, Mr. Koo. Yeah.
Yes.
Your name is Mr. Koo.
Yeah,
All
sure.
right. Is there anyone who wants to talk before we move to the next slide? Oh yeah, before we move to the next slide, I would like to, can I share something like my personal experience?
Yeah, sure.
You
Go
know,
ahead.
I was a teacher back then two years ago before I decided to continue master degree here in Depok. So when I was in Pekanbaru, I used to be a teacher in a boarding school, and I always have a moment dealing with my students. And there was a student. He didn't talk a lot. He didn't like me at the time, and he always, let's say make a problem in the classroom wherever he is. And then I tried to read him out and then make a discussion. And the first thing that I did is I asked him to the canteen and then treat him something. And then after he was full, and then n- not a troublemaker. I mean, like he he's been always in a problem. Like most of the teacher didn't like him, but I tried to approach him, and then I always believe that there must be something behind something. There must be a reason behind a thing. And then after we talk, and then he discussed, and I just realized that he's been through. a vulnerable and critical moment. And then right after that, I become someone that has been always looking to when he wants to share anything. And then you know what? Now he is study in Saudi Arabia. He's studying in Saudi Arabia. And then he just texted me like a couple days ago. He told me, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for um being a good teacher. And thank you so much for believing in me. And now I can consider that he's success now. So I think this is one of the reason for what was that? I think it's one of the reason for us to be a good listener, you know. Sometimes being a good listener, it really means the world to someone. We just don't know what they have been through in their life. Does anyone to talk about maybe has maybe someone relate to my story? You are free to raise your hand and share your.
Can I give additional my perspective?
Yeah, sure.
What I recall, a previous years ago, I I'll say I got triggered from your perspective when I was handling the program, English program in one of boarding school
Hmm.
in my city. It was, I call it not troublemaker, but he is a unique student. Why? Because when he is starving, just he was crying suddenly, and he didn't want to study everything. He didn't want to obey what the teacher said, what the tutor said, and everything. And he suddenly cried at the time. And the funny thing is, when his friends bought some food, and he waited in front of the trash can, in front of the garbage, when
Hmm.
his friend threw the food, and he tried to look for it, and he ate it. For me, it doesn't matter if he doesn't wear the uniform because they bring the name of school, right?
Yeah.
They have the problem for me personally. That's why when I try to talk with him, what's your problem? If you need some food, just call me. I will give you a food, but please obey what the rule here because all of his friends bullied him when he did the action.
Oh, I see.
It's weird action. That's why,
I
yeah,
see.
being listener, what his action, it's quite important, I guess. I call it unique student
Well,
or
I'd
unique.
like to. Yeah. Okay. Ultor. Okay, before we go to Ultor, I'd like to clarify something. I also don't use the terminology student troublemaker. No,
Prout.
troublemaker. No,
C'est-à-dire qu'il faisait, quand il a la trouille, il aurait pu faire
because
caca. Voilà.
being a teacher, I always believe that every student is kind and smart. They just act differently. So that's my clarification. Okay, I saw Kaunachut K. Oh,
No, I don't know.
I don't understand. I think it's Pongs.
Yeah. Okay.
Six Pongs. Okay,
Yeah.
we move to the next slide. Okay. For those who don't open their camera, be ready. I will ask you, yeah, one by one. So, what does empathy mean for you? After we talk, what was that? Ultra,
Let
would
it
you
flow.
like to?
Let it flow. Let's go. It's okay. Just go
Oh,
on.
okay. What's really going on here?
Okay, it's okay. Just go on, just go on. Just
Oh,
leave the
it's a
discussion.
break. Let's call it a break, yeah? Intermezzo. Okay. For those who don't open their camera, be ready. I will call your name one by one. Okay. So, guys, what does empathy mean for you? Have you ever heard this empathy or sympathy, and what are the difference? Anyone to share their thought about this? What does empathy mean for you? Sophie Anand, would you like to talk about empathy?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you, Sophie. You may proceed. What does empathy mean for you, Sophie?
I just joined. May I give my opinion on the next slide?
Oh yeah, okay, okay, no worries. Thank you so much, Sophie. And can we have Uji here to share the Uji? Okay, share. Would you like to say anything? Uji, what does empathy mean for you? I like killing animals. Hilman, can we have Hilman, the screen? Okay, for what's going on in the chat? You're not doing statistic, like, Who is him? Who is he doing? Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry, sir. My gadget is having problems, so I use my husband laptop. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
It
sure.
hang suddenly apa? Yeah.
Oh, it's okay. It's totally understandable. No worries. Okay, because you already opened your mic, would you like to talk about this? What does empathy means for you, Miss Eka?
Okay, sir. Empathy for me is you really understand the people condition.
Mm,
It's like in the seven Cockney books and about seven habits. And
mhm,
yeah, his opinion is when you are dealing in something that make you didn't understand or mess up or make your will be apa having bad prejudice,
mhm.
and then you maybe you have to trying to find out yeah what the yeah like you said everything has to be a reason behind that. Yeah, that's
Yes.
empathy. Yeah.
Wow, amazing. I just love the definition. Thank you so much, Miss Eka.
Yeah, my pleasure, sir.
Is there anyone else? Hasna, would you like to share your thoughts
The
about what does empathy? Because it's something that we always listen in our daily life, right? Ira, okay, please, Ira, proceed. What does empathy means for you?
Okay. Empathy, I think it's like one of the ability that we have. Like we can understand, we are able to understand what people's feeling, their feelings, and also we are imagine ourselves that we are in the same position with them. So yeah, I think like that, like that's the meaning of empathy for me. So
Wow,
yeah.
that's amazing. So empathy for Miss Ira is the ability to put ourselves in someone's shoes, right? To
Um,
feel what they
yes,
feel.
yeah, yes, correct. Mhm.
Amazing, amazing. Wow, I'm so happy being in this room. Everyone is just being so empathetic. Thank you, guys. By mentioning your name and then you raise your hand and then you speak, there's also empathy, right? Anybody want to show that empathy and talk about this?
Me.
Agnes, yeah, please. Thank you so much for being so empathetic, yeah, Agnes.
No,
Agnes,
I'm
we just
waiting for
love
you
to
to call
hear.
me. I'm waiting for your empathy too. No, 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 no.
Agnes being so empathetic. Now it's
No.
your turn.
Okay, so thank you so much for the opportunity to speak. I do agree with Miss Ira. Actually, empathy is the ability to understand other people' perspective, other people' feelings. I just want to give some more examples. Sympathy is when we are seeing someone's in a bad situation and we are feeling sad, or we have kind of feeling not poor, how to say that. But empathy means whether you are seeing or not seeing people in a bad situation, but you realize that your action may impact to other people. For example, when you are in line, please be in the left so that people who's hurried, they can walk in the right side. That's also empathy. So it doesn't mean that you are seeing something bad or something poor and you feel not guilty. How to say that? I do not know the termination in English, but it doesn't mean always there is a bad case or a poor case, then you feel that kind of feeling. But in every situation, for example, when you are walking with your friends, 2 or 3 friends, you are not walking in a row, but you are walking in a column, 1, 2, 3, 4 in behind. It's not in a row because maybe someone's behind are in such a hurry and you say that you block the road. So that's also empathy. And when you are in a kind of in a type of community or in a group of people, then you are whispering to someone ears, saying something that maybe cause any other people think that they are being they are being mocked or something by you. It's also empathy, so avoid to do that kind of thing. It's empathy is not always you see something poor then you feel guilty or something, but it's every time when you know you conscious that your act will impact or disturb or make other people feel bad. It's empathy.
All right, very good, Miss Anis. Okay, we just talk about empathy and sympathy, and
Yeah.
and then someone asked, does loving someone secretly include either empathy or sympathy? What
Does
do you
loving
think?
someone secretly including either empathy? What? Love is not a sympathy.
So what is okay? What are your thoughts about this? Either
Does
it's
loving
empathy
someone
or
secretly include either empathy or sympathy? It's sympathy because sympathy is not always kasihan, but it's also laughing. It's also sympathy. When you are caring to someone, it's sympathy.
all right. How is that answer your question? Yeah, Mr. Ku. Okay, okay. Because Miss Anis just talked about empathy and sympathy. I like to give not the definition, but I like to give example from what I learned. I'm still learning right now. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah. So sympathy is when you say, "Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Oh, your kitten just, okay,
Mm,
you heard about
it's
something
not
bad.
always it's not always feeling poor. When you are giving attention, that's also sympathy.
Okay, okay. Let me clear
Oh
my
yeah, yeah. Sorry,
speech
sorry.
first. No,
I'm not.
it's
I'm
okay.
not sympathy. I'm not. I'm
It's
not
okay.
empathy.
Okay. So I like to clarify. I mean, I would like to differentiate sympathy and empathy because those are two different things in my perspective and also what I've learned so far. So sympathy, when the difference between sympathy and empathy is sympathy when we say, "Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I wish you good luck." But empathy, it's okay. I feel you. I understand you. It's not easy for you. I understand your feeling. I think that's the best example of empathy and sympathy. What do you think, Miss Annie? You may
Yeah,
proceed now.
sympathy and empathy, they can be at the same time. For example,
Mm-hmm.
sympathy and when you are giving attention, right?
Mm-hmm.
They got many people give lots of sympathy to her. It means she got a lot of caring or loving or attention. But empathy means when those people who sympathy and also feel the feelings, feel her feelings, that's empathy. So sympathy and empathy can be in one case.
All
But the
right.
difference is sympathy is you're caring, but
Mm-hmm.
empathy is you're feeling to feel the same. You're trying to feel the same. You're trying to share the emotion. Yeah, that's empathy.
I see. So the keyword is feeling. Yeah.
Uh,
Very good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Empathy is both consciousness, but empathy is that's my personal opinion.
Yeah, it's
I'm
okay.
afraid
It's
that I
okay.
share. Yeah,
No, it's okay.
every attention is a sympathy.
Attention is sympathy.
Every attention is sympathy. They got lots of sympathy. It means that she got a lot of attention and care, something like that. But empathy doesn't mean you give attention, but you conscious about your act. You just she's feeling this way, but you don't say that. Oh my God, how cool you or something like. No, like you understand someone's feeling and that's it.
All right. Thank you so much, Miss Ennis.
Oh,
And
I can
yeah,
give may I answer the previous question before ever? Have you ever heard that you are too much talking and no one heard you before?
yeah. Please.
When I was in elementary school and junior high school, I was a nerd, really nerd. I have no friends. I was getting bullied and
Oh yeah.
something. But that time when I was in junior high school, I realized that this is not always people's faults or my friends' faults. Maybe it's me
Mm-hmm.
myself. Maybe I do not know uh how to communicate with other people well. Maybe my vocabulary is not clear enough. Maybe the way I act, the way I behave, and the way I dress is not pretty good. That is why
Mm-hmm.
I do not get people's sympathy. First, you get sympathy, then you get empathy, right?
Mm-hmm.
The first is sympathy itself. Then I was reading a lot of books. Really, Andrea Hirata, I read a lot of magazines and I read
Wow.
a lot of psychologist book. No, it's not a good thing. It means that I'm really nerd. Since then, I got a lot of vocabularies. I tried to understand other people's perspective. Start um and also I realized that this is not other people faults
Mm.
because it depends on age. We are getting mature, right?
Yeah.
When you are still in elementary school, your ego is pretty big. When you are in junior high school, your narcissism is pretty how to say menggebu-gebu, something like that. And then you become calm, maybe a little bit calm and mature when you are in junior high school, senior high school. Then I start to realize and empathy to other people. That is why I try to understand other people's perspective about me, and I try to sympathy to me myself. That's why I'm trying to change, and I'm starting to get other people's sympathy. They start to talk to me, they start to listen to me, uh, and we start to have a pretty good relations. And I think communication is practicing, building. It's not naturally you are born naturally introvert or extrovert. I think,
I see.
yeah. If you learn about Stephen, yes, there are some people who was born with intelligence like extrovert or introvert or thinking, feeling, sensing. But I think since we were born, we rise by our parents. we learn a lot of things and we grow that way. So it is not naturally, it is built and it is practiced and it is learned, something like that.
Oh, thank you. Mr. Ko, I think we just have a new moderator for this session. It's, everything is well mentioned. I prefer to be the audience. Miss Ennis will be the
No,
moderator.
no, Mr.
It's a very good point, I'm all ears. Thank you. And
Thank you
regarding
so
the
much.
question, Mr. Oku writes in the column, does loving someone secretly include either empathy or sympathy? I think I learned from my thesis, when we love someone because they loved us, it's called empathy. But when we love someone because they're handsome or they're pretty, they're smart, that is not love, that's admiration. So what is love? Love is when you love someone for no reason. Yeah. But secretly it's good. Loving someone secretly, I think it's just being so, don't really believe in yourself, or you're just feeling that you are not good enough, that you keep the love in. Just just confess your feeling, Mr. Ko. Is she in our Zoom meeting now? Okay, you can send me a message and let's finish this. Okay, is there anyone wants to talk? We have wow, 1,000 people. Okay, Mami Malona, would you like to share anything? Sofiana.
Hello,
Hi,
Mr.
Mami Malona.
Yeah, hello, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
So,
So,
mm,
okay, hello.
so should I introduce myself first?
Yeah, sure, sure. I would like to know you.
All right, thank you, Mr. I don't know how to call you, but yeah, I want to introduce myself first. Yeah,
Yeah.
just call me Mommy Malana because my neighbor called me like that after I having a baby. So I love to use his name for my virtual friends.
Wow. Yeah,
And I'm a housewife with two wonderful kids. And I'm living in Bekasi. That's all from me. Thank you.
yeah, you're welcome. Mami
Oh,
Malona. My name is
all
Fikar
right.
Mami Maulana. Nice to meet you.
Fikar,
Yeah, my name is
Mr.
Fikar.
Fikar. Okay, nice to
Yeah,
talk to meet you, Mr. Fikar.
yeah. Would
So,
you, what does empathy
mhm.
mean for you, Mami Maulana? Would you like to
All
share
right. Talk
anything?
about empathy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, empathy for me is like we try to understand people with their by their by the perception like that. For example, yeah, we our friends feel their heart. For example, our friend talk about something like that for about his boyfriend or example like that, and we try to understand them from their perspective, even though we know that it's not really good or something, but we try to understand them. This is by their perspective. This is empathy for me.
Mm. Thank you so much for sharing your
Yeah,
thoughts, Mami Maulana. And
yeah.
please,
Thank you.
please participate in the next question. Yeah, I'll be waiting.
All right.
Mr. Ku, why are you
Okay.
always laughing? Is there something wrong? Okay, very good. Okay, would you like to proceed to the next slide, Mr. Oku, Mr. Ku? Okay, this is empathy. Okay, this is a silent moment for everyone to read the slide. So empathy is the ability to emotionally. So the expert has been argued about the definitions of empathy, and this is what present in the slide. Empathy is the ability to emotionally understand what other people feel, see things from their point of view, and imagine yourself in their place. Essentially, it is putting yourself
Like
in someone else's position and feeling what they're feeling. And speaking of empathy, empathy has two mechanisms for, yeah. So there is affective and cognitive. So for those who's really interested in empathy, we can talk more in the chat, but not in this in this in this in the Zoom. Okay, I like to talk about empathy. Okay, active listening. Okay, guys, you know what to do, right? I'm gonna ask you this question. Mr. Oka, why are you laughing? I feel like there is something wrong with me. Yeah?
No, no, no.
Okay, so what is active listening? Is active listening the same as empathy? We just talked about empathy and now we move to active listening. So, what are you guys thinking about active listening? And is active listening the same as empathy? So, the screens are yours, guys. Miss
I
Annie.
want to try to answer, Mr.
All right, all right, all right.
As you said, that empathy means that you are trying to understand other people's feelings or other people's perspective. I
Uh-huh.
think active listening is one of act to show empathy. It means
Mm,
that you know maybe other has got a lot of things to talk and they need someone to listen. Instead of we interrupt them and make them stop talking.
I see, I see. So, what is active listening? You put
It
empathy
means,
to it?
pardon?
So, what is active listening, Miss Annie?
Active listening is when there is someone talk to you and to show respect, you listen to them and see their eyes for a second and stop your activity for a second or really stop your activity to listen to them and try to
Mhm.
give
Fully
reaction.
attention. Mhm.
Yeah, kind of give nodding, say, give a little bit reaction so that they are asking for your opinion and you try to
Mhm.
give your wise opinion, something like that.
Wow, very good. Very good, Miss Annie.
Thank
Thank you so
you.
much. I love the
My
idea.
pleasure.
Okay, is there anyone? Maybe, oh, I don't agree with Miss Annie. I like to talk this and that. Okay,
Please, anyone, if you have
please,
another
anyone. Oh.
perspective, please show
Yeah,
me,
please
share.
share. Oh, Miss
Okay,
Annie, if you
Mr.
are
Joe
wrong, then it's
Picker.
not active listening.
Yes, that's pretty
No, no,
good.
I'm just, I'm,
No, yeah. I mean, if there is someone try to say
yeah,
that
yeah.
way, that's pretty
Uh-huh.
good. Come
It's
on.
really good. Come on, guys. Oh, Miss Annie, that's
Maybe
wrong. That's
Miss
not active
Eka,
listening.
maybe your
Miss
opinion,
Eka.
Miss Ennis, I don't agree with you, or maybe Miss
Yeah.
Dania has got another opinion. Miss Dia, Miss
Mhm.
Fahri,
Miss Sophia have
Miss Sophia, come on.
interesting opinion, and I didn't hear her voice tonight.
Yeah.
Maybe we should listen to her.
Miss
Yeah,
Sophia,
we
I'm
should.
please.
guys.
Hi, Miss Sophie Anand. What? Are you sick, Miss
Okay.
Sophie?
What is active? Is active listening the same? I think so. Yeah, I
Mhm.
agree with this slide because as what the previous speaker has said before, that showing empathy not only we're doing something big to help them, or as simple as we just sit there, give our time to them and showing that we actually care about their problem, about their what's going on their
Mhm.
life. I think that's also, we can call it as an empathy. And this small simple act, it actually can cause a big impact for the person who talk, or the person who what's that our what is the English of lawan bicara?
Interlocutor.
Opposite,
Yeah.
opposite.
That one. And because I don't want to generalize, but most of girls, especially girls, when we have a problems, when we think that our lives it falling down, we don't need any solution. We just want people to hear. We just want people to listen us, and that's it. That's all that matters. And um, accompanied us to hear all the problems that going on in our life. It actually very important, and it really helped. So I agree with this slide, sir.
Wow,
Thank you.
thank you so much. Thank you so much. Mr. Ku. Okay, Miss Dia Kurniawati, please proceed. What is
Yeah.
active listening? Is active listening this same as empathy?
Oh well, I'm agree with all of you guys that discuss about the active listening, but I curious about how listening because um can you hear my voice clearly?
Yeah, I can, but it's breaking. I think.
Hello.
Miss,
Check.
maybe if you wear headset, you can put out your headset.
Oh, okay.
Take off your headset.
Clear?
You're
Yeah, it's
like
pretty
speaking in a
clear.
space.
Now
Okay.
clear.
Oh yeah, now it's
Okay.
clear.
Yeah, because at this moment we know that you talk all about empathy, but we don't answer what is the definition of the empathy and also active listening. I mean, maybe we stay focused on listening, but we don't react. I think that's not an active listening. Active listening means that we have and also we give all of our empathiness, right? We answer your question, that's mean empathy. But if we just stop in receiving the information but never react or and then try to connect with you, maybe we lost our empathy. And
Right.
as a speaker, maybe we also have to know what happened in this Zoom. Maybe my interlocutor have a problems with their Zoom or have a long work hours or something like that. So yeah, active listening is empathy, but it's not just about the listening, but also how to react about the information that we get after listen.
Wow, lovely. I love that one. What do you think, Mr. Ku? Please show your empathy, Mr. Ku.
I don't have any empathy. I just
Oh no, don't say that. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry.
I
Miss
think
Enid,
the
yeah.
hello,
What do you
Mr.
think? Yeah, hi.
Active listening, maybe what Mr. Hu now doing is active listening. She
He-
she he opened his camera and he pay attention to this meeting. It's empathy. Yes, Mr. Hu, maybe I in my eyes your hair is long. Okay. Yeah, I do agree with Miss Dia that
Uh-huh.
you are giving any reaction. It's not only listening without caring, without paying
Mhm.
any attention.
I see. Thank you so much. So, Mr. Oku, thank you so much for being a good listener, and everyone, thank you so much for showing your empathy. Okay, what do we have in the next slide, Mr. Ku? Please proceed. Okay, this is type of listening, guys. There are 6 types. We have active listening, critical listening, informational listening, empathetic listening, appreciative listening, discriminative listening. And then we are focusing on, okay, would you like to proceed on the next slide, Darko? We are focusing on empathetic listening. Again, question, guys, motion to talk about. What are the benefits of empathetic listening for you as individual? Is there anyone wants to deliver their thought?
Mr. Previous slide, please.
Okay, previous
I
slide,
haven't
Mr. Ku.
Listener are good at
So
understanding other
empathetic
feeling,
listening,
especially
empathetic
when people
listening are
have
good
a
at
tough
understanding
time
others'
communicating.
feelings, especially when people have a tough time communicating them verbally.
Listener are good at understanding other
Cool.
feelings, especially when people have tough time communicating them verbally. Wait. I try to understand the description.
Are you enough with the description? Should we move to the previous slide? Mr.
Yeah.
Ku, Mr. Ku, Mr. Ku, for previous slide. Thank you.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I see. I think I understand. It means that when someone's actually they are having something to talk, but they are not good to deliver their feelings or what's on their mind, it means that we are trying to understand them and help them to communicate their feelings, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay, Mister.
So next slide, Mr. Ku, please. So what are the benefits of empathetic listening for you as individual? Okay, we start from Miss Anis.
Okay, the benefits are it sharpen our empathy, of course. It's the first because we try to help other people, right? I do not know what's on your mind, but I'm trying to help you to communicate what's on your feeling. And we sharpen our I don't know, not suspicious, but yeah. Your sense. Your sense to your sense to help other people kind of your sense to how to say that in English. I want to say that in bahasa menyambungkan benang merah, but not like that. You try to find a clue or make connection from a clue to another clue so that you can help the people to talk, and you can practice. Maybe if you learn about psychology, you can practice it to understand other people or to understand this kind of people that they are having difficulty to deliver their thought. And also, anyone can help me, please?
Yeah, anyone? Oh yeah, I'm reading up this book now, and I think it's kind of relate to the benefits of empathetic listening. So if you want to win friends, you want to make a lot of friends, and really want to influence people, I think one of the way is empathetic listening. So you can win people. This is a book from Dale Carnegie.
Oh, it is also one way to how to say that. Oh my God, I just remember something, then I forget. It is really annoying.
What is it?
Miss Ira first. I forget. Later I will say this.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So for me, one thing that came up in my mind, I think it built trust and also strong relationship between these people. I think for me because I felt when I being like somebody else, like I mean like my friend want to listening my voice, I mean my feeling. I felt like we have a strong relationship after that. And also it can also build in trust. I'm putting my trust to her, and then she also putting trust in me. So like we definitely like how can I say like have a good relationship after that. And then because we feel really comfortable when we're sharing information to each other, like about our feeling, and we're not spelling our tea when when we're telling something that, because it's not like we just like randomly telling people about our feeling, but like we just choose a certain person that we feel really comfortable to talk to it. So I think like it can build trust and also strong relationship as well. I think
I
that's
see.
it.
Very good. So building trust is one of the
Yes.
benefits of empathetic
Uh-huh.
listening. Very good. Oh, Miss
Mhm.
Ira, we have a question. Maybe we would like to answer. Is empathetic listening can be said as a result of process part of active listening, or they're just different? What do you think? Miss Ira, would you like to comment to this question? Or Miss Anis? Or anyone?
I don't want to, I'm not ready, not I don't want, I'm not ready to answer Miss Dia question, but
Okay.
I wanna tell you what last time I forgot to mention.
Okay, okay, what is it?
Almost same as what Miss Ira said, but according to you, it also could help us to gain friends, right? It
Mm-hmm.
means if we give other people the feeling of comfort to talk to us, it is kind of bonding, so that we build a good relationship, then they will come back to talk to us again, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is one way get or to gain more friend or to get lots of friends.
Yeah. Where is Mr. Cool? Okay. Regarding, thank you so much, Miss Anis. Regarding the question, is empathetic? Okay, Henny, please proceed, Miss Annie.
Hello. Thank you very
Hi,
much.
you're
Okay.
welcome.
What should I answer from Miss Dia first, or from just go through
Whatever,
this
whatever,
question?
whatever. You may start from the slide or may from or the
Okay.
question.
Okay. I'd like to comment about Miss
Mm-hmm.
Dia's question, and I'll jump to the benefits
Okay.
of empathic listening
All
for
right.
us
Awesome.
as individual. Okay,
All right.
but
Awesome.
firstly, I would like to give my opinion about active listening. For me, active listening means that we are seeking when the speaker talking to us means that we are seeking to understand. When they speak to us as a listeners, means that there is a connection between the speaker and the listener. So you can make sure that you are getting to correct the message without passing in distraction, or you may not give a judgment to the speaker, although you don't understand about the speaker's topic, but we try to find a keyword or understand about the speaker's topic. So it can be for active listening. It can input. We can be opening the doors to give a good question to the speakers after the speaker finish the lesson or the topic. So we can
Mm-hmm.
give a question or a good question related to the topic. And after that, we can drawing out a speaker with a question. Yeah, with a question, we can give them a question. And after that, we can reflecting, feeling, yeah, what you hear from the speaker or what you see from the speaker. And the last one, you can give a paraphrasing, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
to capture or to conclude all the contents or the topic that the speaker discussed to us. So that's active listening for me myself, yeah, as a
Mm-hmm.
listener when they share or when they deliver their topic to me. Yeah. And about the benefits of empathic listening, yeah, for us as an individual, as we know that if we underline the word empathic means that there is a connection, or we respect the speakers, yeah, although sometimes we are confused about the topic or we don't understand about the topic, but at least we have such kind of empathy to the speaker. The benefits, so the first one for me, of course, it can develop our emotional intelligence. As we know that there are many types of emotional intelligence. So
Mm-hmm.
the first one, it's a kind of self-awareness
Yeah.
and empathy, and also motivation, social skill, and self-regulation. So we can
Mm-hmm.
develop our emotional intelligence, especially with our social skills. Means that we can respect or we can appreciate one and each other. And of course, to us, yeah, as an individual, it can motivate us. Yeah, it can motivate us and also kind of a self-awareness to us. And for the second, for me, empathic listening, yeah, I could say that I can use open-ended question. So open-ended question here, like we are as a listener, we get to know people. We may analyze or identify about their characters, yeah, about their types of people, yeah, as we know that we are different one and each other. When we meet with different characters, sometimes we don't respect one and another because we are in a different types of level, yeah. And there are smart, what is that? The level are different, and after that, people feel hurt and also improve. Student as a student, like student thinking, yeah. Student thinking means that we are as a thinker, we need to think or to develop our brain, yeah, to think over and over. And the last one, so we can let them as a listener, or we are as a listener, to know whether we understand or not with the speakers, yeah, related to the topic they have discussed. Like you, sir, you discuss about active listening. So at least we know that the benefit or the function or the goal of this topic. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you very much.
Oh, very good. You're welcome. Thank you so much, Miss Anne. So I would say that where is Oku? Okay, I would say that there is active listening and empathetic listening, but there is no guarantee that there is empathetic listening and active listening. So yeah, just to simplify that, so there is active listening and empathetic listening. We can show our empathy by doing active listening, but it's not guaranteed that we can be empathetic in the active listening. That's it. Thank you. Okay, Mr. Oku, would you like to proceed to? Okay. And the next question, how can you, let's see, I get it. Answer. You're welcome. How can you practice empathetic listening, guys, in education? How can you practice if you work in this field or workplace or in interpersonal relationship with your mother, your family, your friends, or not to mention the, partner, boyfriend, girlfriend? How can you practice empathetic listening? Is there anyone who wants to answer? How can you practice? Or by doing this conversation, like I ask you a question and you try to answer, do you consider that it's empathetic listening? What's your thought? Miss Ennis, please.
Actually, I need time for thinking or to make
Okay. No worries.
statement, but I think you because I often have this kind of meeting and this is feeling strange when there is no one give any reaction. So that's I try to
Oh, thank you
answer
so
it
much.
directly.
Thank you so much. I hope that we can
When
be friends. So you are so empathetic.
good.
All right,
Okay,
thank you.
so example in education, nowadays since 13 curriculum and Merdeka curriculum,
Yeah.
moreover in 13 curriculum, the student must have a lot of presentation, right? It means they have to try to compile information by themselves. The teacher just give them tasks and they are going to be in a group. It is pretty important to have empathetic 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 listening. You are going to train this skill really well in that process. You can help other. How can you practice this? Of course, many things. When you are in a group, you can communicate to other people, try to listen, to help other people to speak, to share their idea. And also when someone doing a presentation, you try to, when you are doing presentation, sometimes you miss the lesson, sometimes you miss a sentence, sometimes you miss the information. You can try to help other people to recall
Mhm.
the material, or to recall or to memorize the thing by doing an act or by giving uh how to say that, miming something with your body. It really helps. It's one of empathetic listening.
Wow, very good.
And also in workplace, when you are in the office, or when you are in a team working, and
Mhm.
your friends has got a difficulty, but they cannot tell, because when we are in a working area, sometimes people cannot share their difficulty because
Yeah.
I'm afraid that people will see me
Mhm. Yeah.
weak. I'm afraid that
Yeah.
people will
Agree.
see my weakness or something. So that it's also train your empathy, and um, it builds. You are trying to help them to listen, then to help them to share their difficulty, something like that. It's
Mhm.
interpersonal. I think it's almost same. You try to
Mhm.
understand your partner feelings. When you are as a partner, or you are as a daughter and mother, or son and father,
Mhm.
you kind of understand one to each other. Maybe one day your father say, "Hi, son," then wow, it's really rare my dad call me this way, and there is something happened, and you try to invite your dad to share what happened. I think that's one of the example.
I see. Very good. Thank you so much, Miss Anis. Okay, then to
Anytime.
Miss Dia, please. What are your thoughts?
Okay, I'll try to give maybe similar perspective
Mhm.
with Miss
Anis.
Uh, Miss Annie.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Again, empathetic listening is related to feeling. So, like you mentioned, sir, that the feeling that we can put ourselves into another person's shoes, another position of maybe you as a speaker. Yeah, we will hone our ability to uh, do empathetic listening. For instance, maybe I have to try to maybe take my position as a moderator or maybe as a speaker, and I have to imagine how if I am be a speaker and there is no one that can answer and active in this kind of Zoom meeting. So I have to react. I have tried to answer the question at least at this moment. And in the workplace, I experience so much because I
Mhm.
work when I have to be a leader in some kind of project. So I have to know what is the responsibilities of
Mhm.
our staffs, and what is the deadlines of them. So I know, oh, maybe the portion of this staff just handle, and then I can give to another. I have to know their feelings when we have like deadlines or maybe another goals. Yeah, the way we can put our feelings and try to at least if we never be that staff or never be a moderator, we try to put this feeling. I think
I
that's
see.
why
Thank
that's
you.
how it
Thank you
is.
very much, Miss Dia.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, I'd love to listen from the others. Mr. Yanuar Lazuardi, would you like to give your voice? Sir Fahri, Mami Maulana, Eka, Ira, Sri, or probably Hani. Anyone
Okay,
wants
Mr.
to talk?
Ku. Mr. Ku haven't talked yet.
Mr. Ku, someone's looking for you. You haven't spoken yet, she says. Mr. Ku, Mr. Ku, someone's looking for you and wish you to
No,
speak.
I mean Mr. Ku, Miss Sophie. Sometimes they have good opinions, sir.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mostly Mr. Ku have many experience
Yeah.
related to his schools. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe so. Mr. Ku, please share your thoughts about this. Mr. Ku, can you how can you practice empathetic listening, Mr. Ku? In education, maybe you
Right.
can talk more about education since you are a
Why?
teacher, yeah.
Many people force me to speak up. Okay. Well, let me highlight. It has 3 points here. How can practice empathetic listening in? Uh, what's going to be my concern? Talking about education means that currently we see that many people try to express or try to be access try to access on social media with regard to prioritize what we are going to share, what
Mhm.
we are going to deliver to many people. It doesn't mean that if we can be a good listener as our empathetic, why not? Rather than we share a lot of things without considering what we are good at. For instance, we are good at math. We can share it. It's going to be our value to add our value. That's what we are good at. Uh, it's a deeper about that knowledge. That's our how to say, it's our uh,
Mhm.
specialization. Um, even though we know something in general about politics, economic, food, R&D, business, and so forth, but we only know on surface. It doesn't mean what we share. We always answer uh, whatever the question happens to us. That's the problem actually nowadays. We try to
Mhm.
answer all of things in our life. It's become overthinking.
Yeah.
Human has a limitation. That's why we have to limit what we know, rather than we answer all of things what we don't know. It's perilous. Uh, yeah, what I know from this case. For instance, what I highlight many times talking about education, I only know about education, and when it gets specified, I only know education in how to say the way we can share and so on. In education, even in education, they have some layers talking about policy, talking about the business in education, talking about the system and so forth. That's why we have to specify it's our scope. Moreover, Mr. Zulfikar just stated it must be specific what we are good at. If we
Mhm.
do it in general, so it doesn't strengthen what we are concerning as our specialization. Maybe what I can say. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Is there anyone? We have Mami Molona.
All
Okay,
right.
please, Mami Molona, proceed.
Yeah, I'm gonna give my opinion about our question is still related to the question, how can you practice empathic listening in? I think education, workplace, interpersonal relationship is like uh, only about the topic what we discuss or we talk about. But
Mhm.
to practice empathic listening, this is how we give our eye contact for the speaker and include the attitude, how we attitude that we respond them and while they talking like that. But we try to understand why they talk about. That's practice empathic listening for me. And yeah, talk about education, workplace, entrepreneurial relationship. This is a topic, yeah. Uh, for example, in the interpersonal relationship, in my opinion, if people, for example, my friends, talk about his problem with his, for example, his husband or his boyfriend. This is interpersonal relationship for me. Yeah. So when they try to talk about this, and we try to listen carefully about that. But sometimes the speaker, they didn't need advice. They just need someone to listen what they feel like that. So this is depend on the situation. If the speaker just need someone to spill her heart, we just need to give the just give them like uh, eye contact like that. Yes, I taught you, and we try to respond them that we understand their situation like that. And yeah, that's the simple for me, Mister. That's all I think.
Thank you very much, Miss
Yeah.
Maluna, sorry.
All right. Can I mention someone to answer the questions if because
Yeah,
I
yeah,
have my
please,
friend
please
here,
do so.
Miss Ray.
Yeah,
I
please
just want
do.
to hear her opinion about this. Miss
Yeah,
Ray.
sure, please go.
Hello, Miss Ray. Are you there?
Miss Sri.
Oh, maybe Miss Henny, because Miss Henny is my friend too. I don't know, Miss
Okay,
Ray.
hi, Miss
Busy.
Annie.
Hello,
Miss
hello.
Mami Molana wants you to speak. Miss Annie.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, mommy, for choosing me. Uh, but I'm still thinking, but that's okay. I will explain or I'll give my opinion about this. How can we practice empathetic listening in education, workplace, interpersonal relationship? Okay, if we talk about education, maybe there are some system or organization in education, like between teacher and student, between lecturers and their students, yeah, and also the management or the curriculum. So at least that at first, I would like to give an example between lecturers or student or teacher and students here. So as an example, when the teacher explain about something to the student or they explain about the lesson, maybe the first one, the teacher wants the student here or hear first, or at least they hear what when the teacher is talking was talking to the students, although they don't understand. So after listen, and if they don't understand about the lesson or the material, so they can give a like a question and answer session or give a feedback whether their student understood or not. But in here, there are some respects, yeah, there are some manner between a teacher and a students, although maybe the students don't like when the teacher explain about that question, maybe the topic is not interested enough for them, but at least they respect, yeah, they don't if they don't like it, they respect their teacher, because as a teachers, as a students, we have to appreciate the teachers, yeah, although we don't like, yeah, about the topic, or we don't like the way when the teacher explaining about the lesson, maybe the types of teaching method they don't like about teaching method, but it's okay. Maybe there is a appreciation from the student to the teacher. So empathic means that, like, it's just like our emotional intelligence, yeah, means that we build our social skill, we build a good manner, yeah, we give a feedback whether positive or negative, at least, yeah, after teacher give, sometimes we need a feedback, teacher need a feedback from the student, so there is a good connection and a positive feedback or negative feedback, but that's okay for the teacher, yeah. And in workplace, as we know that, especially, yeah, there is a distance, yeah, there is a distance between employee, between boss or the management, yeah, or HRD. There are some limitation, especially in a meeting time, yeah, when the boss give a briefing or explaining something, yeah, So there is what is that connection to here? There is a connection to, and there is a positive feedback. So as we know that the characters of the boss, they don't want the employee judge them, or they don't want the employee protest them. Yeah, sometimes, yeah. But at least we need positive feedback, or there is a connection between a boss and their employee here. So although we don't like the way, or although the boss is too strict for them, yeah, like to get angry to them, but yeah, we need appreciation, or as a boss, they need an appreciation, a respect. Yeah, we respect, yeah, because as we know that they are our boss, so we have to respect it, although we don't like them. Yeah. And interpersonal relationship, I would say that interpersonal relationship here means that we build a relationship between one person to the other person, or can be with a two person or many person. So in a relationship, sometimes we get some problem, yeah.
Yeah.
And in our relationship, we are not as a good listener to our partner, yeah.
Yeah.
The key word here, I would like to say that we respect, we appreciate each other. If there is a problem, we can talk, yeah. We can get a deep talk, yeah,
Deep talk.
or contemplation, or yeah, at least you understand, and you understand one and each other. You complete each other. That's all for me. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much. Okay, Miss Ira, we have Miss Ira. We move to Miss Ira.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Yeah, I would like to answer the questions from the education perspective. So, this is like one of the things that I've learned. I think like since I'm just graduated from high school and I'm going to college, and like in high school, I think I learned a lot of things, especially how to become like good listener, because because in like in school we got a lot of tasks, especially when it comes to like presentations and explaining something to the teacher and so on. And by doing this, I've learned how to not saying anything when somebody explaining something that even though you already know about the knowledges, right? Because it's very hard sometimes we wanted to cut it out and say, oh, stop it, I know about this one. But I think it's very hard for us to say, okay, I understand why he's talking about. Thank you for sharing, even though you don't really, even though you already know about this knowledge, but you respect them and you decided to listening to them. I think that's one of the way that we can practice it. Being like being a good listener in education. So when you, how can I say, when you already know something, like knowledge, but you're not, but and then somebody else would like to explaining about it, you're not saying I know about the one, but you said, oh, thank you so much for sharing your perspective, and I really appreciate it. So I think that's one of the way that we can practice in education. So being a good listener, even though you know about that one, so just like listening to people, because maybe at some point there's something probably that you don't really listening, you never really listening before, but when you listen to this person perspective, you got something and that you never know before. So I think, yeah, that's one of the key. Because when I was like in elementary or like in middle school, I felt like that. So whenever my teacher explaining something and then I already know about us, I always say like this, "Oh, teacher, I already know about this one." So my teacher respond like, "Okay, I'm going to stop talking about this one because you guys already understand about this." And so I would like to change the way I respond about that. So when I'm going to high school, I was like, I'm decided to listening to my teacher, and what I got, I'm actually learning a lot of things. So not only the thing that I've learned before, but much more than enough. So I think, yeah, that's one
I
of the things I would like to share.
I see. I see. Thank you so much, Miss Ira. Very good. Very good.
Wow,
So
thank you for the
doing
clapping.
doing a sweet lie is also one of, like we can do a sweet lie just to show our empathy. I get a point. Oh yeah. Oh my goodness. I just love this discussion. This is the most empathetic discussion that I've ever had. Thank you so much. I'm afraid that we run out the time because we still have 8 more slides, and then we're approaching, sadly, it's almost 10 o'clock. What do you think, Mr. Ko? Critical aspect of empathy listening. Okay, we go ahead. Okay, question again, guys. Why are you laughing, Mr. Ko? So, guys, what is the most critical aspect of empathetic listening? Before we proceed to the next slide, we will talk more about. Or I hope that we can have much time. We will talk about double empathy problem. Maybe some of you have heard that word. But before that, I'd like you to give your thoughts about this question, critical aspect of empathetic listening. If I'm not mistaken, okay, Miss Dania, would you like to open your camera so everybody will see your beautiful face?
Yeah, okay.
Wow, thank you so much.
I'm glad
Okay,
finally I can giving my opinion because
yeah,
before I'm still working in the office. Okay,
it's okay.
so maybe I just gonna give some summary as I hear before that previous speaker has been speaking a lot of things, the point about this equation also. So the first one, as like the previous speaker said before, we need to know what the speakers needed. Are they need just to listening, or just to listen to them, or they need an advice? So the first one, we need to listen carefully about what they are talking about, and then
Mm-hmm.
after that, please not give an advice quickly. Sometimes when we hear something that like the problems about the another person talking about, and we think that we have the solution of it, sometimes we can wait to giving our advice to them like that. So just the first one, listen, and after they are uh, finish their speaking, and then if they need an advice, you can give an advice, and also uh, avoid judgment, like don't blame other people like that, something like that. And then
Mm-hmm.
you can show your empathy, like your response after hearing their story, something like that. Yeah. And also you can use the body language, like the positive body language, like how we hear the how we listen the people when people talking, like see into their eyes, and
Mm-hmm.
the expressions also, like the feeling that, oh, we can relate to them and understand about their story. Yeah, I think that's the point. Thank you.
All right, very good. Thank you so much. Is there anyone wants to deliver their thought? Please proceed. Is there anyone? Okay, please. We have Miss Eka. Okay, please proceed, Miss Eka.
I don't know it is overwhelming or not, but because
What is it?
yeah, I think the most critical aspect of empathic listening is from your information that active listening is not the same with the emphatic listening, right? It's similar, but it's not the same. The active listening is sometimes they are more objective, but sometimes they didn't consider the feeling, right? And then the
Yeah,
emphatic listening is more to the consider the feeling. But yeah, the critical aspect of emphatic listening, they have to balance, yeah, because
yeah,
if you are too impulsive and to follow your feeling only, sometimes there is something that we have to overcome, but yeah, we have to not put aside, but we have to um, of apa for like more balancing aja in between the thought, the logical, and the feelings, yeah, something like that. Because sometimes when I dealing with people, sometimes I put my position as active listening, but sometimes also like emphatic listening. But the difficult is when the person is they are too impulsive or to follow their feelings. Sometimes they are unbalanced. Yeah, I I know that mostly people want to be only listen. I know that, but sometimes in the crucial condition, you have to listen others also, not only just to be listened, because um, at some condition there is condition that you have to overcome it more objective and try to be more objective, that's all. But if you cannot because the condition is not supported, yeah, maybe we have to be emphatic. It's right. But if you can dealing with the obstacles, it's maybe you have to more balance and yeah, maybe um, more be like active listening to be more objective. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much. So, please allow me to give some thoughts about the most critical aspect of empathetic listening. So, the first is presence. So, being fully present in the moment and giving your undivided attention to the speaker. And the second critical aspect is non-judgment, suspending just man just man and refraining from making assumptions or evaluating the speaker's words. And the other critical aspect is, of course, empathy, trying to understand the speaker's emotion, perspective, and experiences from their points of view. And the other aspect, the other critical aspect of empathic listening is validation. So acknowledging the speaker's feeling and experiences valid, and even if you don't necessarily agree or share the same sentiment. And then the other critical aspect is um, open-ended question, like we are doing right now, asking open-ended question that encourage the speaker to elaborate and share more about their thoughts and feelings. And then the next is reflective responses. So after reflective responses, we also have using appropriate body language, such as maintaining eye contact. Many speakers have mentioned about that. Thank you so much. That's a really good point. Nodding, using facial expression that convey empathy and interest. And the other critical aspect is avoiding interruptions. So while the other is speaking, please wait until they're finished their speech, and then we raise our hand or ask for permission to, to say something in the middle of someone speaking. And the other critical aspect is summarizing and paraphrasing. Um, it is summarizing and paraphrasing what the speaker has shared to show that, that you have been attentive and comprehended the message accurately. And last but not least, to my knowledge, of course, offering support. So if appropriate, offering support or expressing your willingness to help in a way you can. So I think those are the critical aspect of empathetic listening. And as we still have many slides, but we don't have the time, I think it's a right moment to finish my speaking. What do you think, Mr. Ku? Mr. Ku, hi. As as the time is approaching time, should we end it here? But we still have many slides to discuss. What do you think, Mr. Ku? Should I finish my speaking and then
Yeah, maybe give the two speakers
I
to
over
conclude
it to
this
you?
meeting. It's okay. Give two
Sorry?
speakers time to conclude this meeting, and then you give additional conclusion.
Sorry? I think I have problem
You
with my
can give
ear.
two speakers for to conclude this meeting, conclude this discussion, and then you can give additional.
Okay. All right, as the time is approaching 10, sadly, the time flies. We really enjoy the discussion. I hope that you can enjoy as much as I enjoyed the discussion. So is there anyone who wants to give your final thoughts or conclusion about our today discussion? Feel free, anyone. I expect anyone who hasn't spoken yet. Mr. Lazuardi, probably.
Can we continue the discussion for next week, sir? Because it seems like interesting topics. It's in my opinion, yeah, because I
Yeah,
think your slides is too much for one session. You have to divide it, become
yeah,
two.
agree.
In my opinion, yeah.
Yeah, agree. Very good.
What is mean the double
Mr.
empathy problem? What is it? It's
It's really interesting.
yeah, it's
Double
interesting.
empathy problem.
Or we can give additional time for double empathy problem, Mr. Ko.
Yeah.
I think
Sure.
something similar.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on.
Sounds great. Okay, please, Januar.
Yes,
No, please go on.
Maybe in
yes,
the
What
Mr.
is
Yanuar.
this the double emphatic problem is the same with the dark empath? No,
Oh no,
double empathy problem. I
you
don't
said dark side of empathy.
what?
You just mentioned dark side of empathy.
Yeah, dark empath is someone that very have deeper empath to people.
Oh no,
Yeah,
it's
so
different.
yeah, it's so it's like they are like negative, yeah, because they are too deeper when they have the empathy and they don't
Yeah.
have any boundaries because it's yeah it's like I said it's too impulsive that they are only follow their feelings, but yeah they can understand any condition any situation but they have no boundaries. And what is the mean the double empathy problem?
Okay, I'm not gonna talk about it now. Maybe we should proceed another meetings. But to my knowledge, and also what I've been learning in university, and also I'll talk about this in my thesis, there is no dark side of empathy. You know, it's really it's really mind blowing when people say, "Oh, there's dark side of empathy," but to my knowledge, and there is no dark side of empathy. And I stop there. We will discuss more. And for now, I really want you guys to sum up the discussion. So feel free, raise your hand. Mr. Yanwar Lazuardi is opening his camera. Maybe he's about to say something. Mr. Yanwar, please proceed. Let's
No,
connect it
I'm
to.
just sudden push the button off on my camera.
Oh, I see. I see. But
Maybe
it's lovely to hear your voice.
yeah, it's just a great time to have this discussion. Maybe I'm just still learning about the empathize to another. Maybe for the next topic we just learn about the psychology. Maybe learning about the character, or maybe yeah, the character of the man of the person when they must to empathize with another,
Mhm.
just like that.
Okay.
It's because not every single person in this world have their best on and have their best sympathize to another. Maybe because to their ego, or their maybe some exclusive personality maybe is
Mhm.
such a good discussion to be going on. Just like that.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Yanuar Lazuardi. Okay, Miss Dania, you would like to say something?
Yeah, maybe I'll leave it respond to Miss Ekasi before. Maybe it's not dark empathy, but as I know, there is any, how to say, personality character like highly sensitive people. Yeah, highly sensitive people is someone who are who feel empathy more than normal people. That's why they are so sensitive. And about the double empathy problem, I guess it's about like, how to say, the um, high different understanding, like highly different understanding when we meet with maybe some disability people, and then sometimes we kind of difficult to understand them because we don't really know what they are meaning, because we have like some kind different of uh, the way of thinking and the way to show about their feeling, and also how they uh, having conversation with other. That's why uh, I think that's the meaning of double empathy problems, is that, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, yeah. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Mr. Ku, should we end it now?
Do you still need to continue?
All right. I still need to continue the slide or the discussion, or should I close with statement? What do you mean? I think we cannot conclude the discussion now because we haven't finished the discussion. But since someone mentioned about the sensitivity, their self-empathy, for those who consider themselves as a sensitive, I think this is a very good for you to listen, because not everyone feels everything as deeply as you do, and at times that is going to feel like the most isolating experiences in the world. You feel deeply, and not everyone's going to understand why you think about things so much. They'll call you an overthinker and tell you to stop worrying about things outside of your control. But when you feel deeply, you think deeply, it's not something that you can just switch off, I think. You can, however, but you use it to your advantage. You can use it to understand yourself. And then when you can understand yourself, you'll finally realize that, oh, you'll never really be able to fully understand life, but you'll be able to accept that for what it is and not as another problem for you to try and solve. And I hope our discussion doesn't end it now. I hope that I can, keep in touch with you guys. So I expect that we will have the next meeting to discuss about this. So I'd like to use this moment to say thank you so much for your time, for your participation. Thank you so much. And if you have if you want to know more about empathy, you can reach out our web. Please allow me to share this. We are now building our web, aseya.id. It's an Asosiasi Empathy Indonesia. You can share anything there regarding the empathy. And I'd love to follow you on Instagram. So please drop your Instagram name, and I'd love to follow you. And let's follow each other in social media and keep in touch. And then talk about empathy and share empathy to anyone with me. And I over this to Mr. Ku. last but not least, thank you so much, everyone. I'm so happy being in this Zoom. Thank you so much.
Me too. Thank you
Thank
so
you
much
so much.
for
I,
today's topic, Mister.
thank you so much, guys. I love you so much.
No, no, I'm still normal. No, I don't love you.
Huh?
Thank you very much. I'm still
Mr.
normal.
Normal, what do
What
you
do you
mean?
mean?
Like, what do you mean?
No, I don't love you too. I'm still normal.
So you mean that
Kidding,
I
just
love,
kidding, just kidding.
I didn't love the joke. It's not funny.
Very insightful.
No, yeah, I'm joking.
Yeah, and powerful discussion tonight.
Yeah.
Even though it's overtime, but you're really enthusiastic in the way how you express your notion by way of sharing the, the motion. Okay, thank you very much. Actually, I do not really write any evaluation. Just make sure if you write a evaluation. No, I just had this one. There are two new vocabularies here. Hmm, it has menggepu-gepu and then interlocutor. That's it. What I can give an evaluation toward our discussion tonight. But before we end up our, yeah, we end up our meeting today. Maybe if you want to talk more, you can contact Mr. Zulfikar. In the chat box, it has his Instagram account. Again, you can chat with him. And also to be crowded in his direct message.
Maybe
Okay,
we can
now I
write something.
yeah, now I
Maybe
want to open
maybe
up.
we can do collaboration, write articles about empathy. I'd love to do that.
Nice, nice. Okay, I allow you to open up your camera. That's why we can okay document it our meeting tonight, and you can share and tag Mr. Zulfikar later on for everyone. Miss Annie,
Don't take me. Don't take me.
Eka,
I'm normal.
I can't. Sorry.
I'm sorry I didn't wear the hijab.
Oh,
Miss
it's
Mami,
okay.
Mami, Fahri, Ira, Henny, Miss Sophie, are you there? Januar, long time with you. Have you been
Long
musician?
time no see.
Have you been musician nowadays?
Sorry?
Have you been musician?
Mm, yes,
Wow,
I'm
that's
still a
good.
musician right now.
Miss Sophie, Miss
Local
Sophie,
musician.
I'm so messy here. I cannot open my camera. Okay.
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Would you mind showing your beautiful face?
No.
Okay, yeah, without further ado, I will count it. One, two, three, three. Well, that's good, Ira. Okay, yeah, thank you, Penny. Okay, wait. One, two, three. Peace out. Actually, I don't like this. I like once more. One, two, three. Three. I like three. Okay, thank you very much for sharing. And then later on, I will share our discussion via YouTube, and then you can re-evaluate what you have done to join this discussion. Of course, next week we are going to meet again with a different topic, with different issues, and different moderator. That's why you can still practice and share new things. Okay, but before we end up our meeting today, when I say Otak community, all of you can answer yesterday, say tomorrow. Otak community.
Yesterday we said tomorrow.
All right. Thank you very much, and see you next week.
Thank you
Rasa
very
day.
much,
Have a nice
everyone.
day.
Thank you
Happy
very
weekend.
much for
Thank you,
talking
Mr.
with me.
Yeah.
Mr. Zulika
Really
and
excellent.
Mr.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
So